What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So as y'all know, we did end up getting the new Bravado GTS, which I probably would guess everybody is going to buy it. But on top of that, though, we also got the new Dinka Jester RR Widebody. I have to admit, this car is actually kind of weird looking, man. Like, I understand what they were kind of going for a little bit with, like, the wide body kit. It does actually look pretty nice, but the livery design on this thing is kind of weird looking. And also, if you guys did want to buy this car, head over to the Legendary Motorsports, and, well, it is going to cost you $2.2 million. So it's going to be around $300,000 more than the GTS is, but then again, that car can also go in the HSW upgrade, whereas the Dinka Jester cannot, so that's probably kind of a big thing there. But hey, let's go customize this thing right now, which luckily I can do that from my actual Maze Bank thing, so let's check it out here. Now, I have to admit, I feel like a lot of people might look at this car and go, I mean, it is going to be a wide-body Supra, because we all do know that's what the Jester RR is, right? I mean, kind of a Supra, kind of obvious. But the thing is, though, do you guys actually like the way they designed this thing? I'm kind of mixed. Like, I understand what they were kind of going for with it. Yeah, it's going to look unique, but, kind of looks weird, if I'm being real. Can't change my headlights here, not a big deal. Going down, we got the plate. Let's see, respray. So this is what I wanted to see here. My car is currently white. Maybe I could do something like a red color. But the big thing is, though, let's actually see how all that works. Let's add the transmission. Let's do the turbo. Where are the livery things at? Is there no liveries, bro? Um, for real right now? So you have to keep the car like this? Wait, am I tripping? Is there no liveries for this thing, bro? So you're telling me right now you have to keep the special looking livery on this thing? I can't take it off of the vehicle, bro? I can't take it off of it? That's kind of weird, but I guess we'll color it real quick. Let's see, maybe I'll go with red, and I just noticed the lady standing back there. Probably not doing much of anything. Let's see, let's go with, should I do red? Nothing actually fits it, man, because the livery's so many different. Is that even? It's not really a livery. It's like a weird looking wrap, I guess. But either way, it just doesn't fit the car. Now, what if I actually did a midnight purple color, though? That might look kind of... Okay, that looks kind of interesting. Am I right? I mean, it looks a little bit better. Let's see. Pearlescent, bright purple. Keep that on there, guys. I don't know what I'm doing with this thing, but bear with me. Let's... Okay, so that's going to be the other color of the that's secondary color, which I don't think looks that great there. We have the trim color again, kind of just changes the interior of the vehicle. Let's go with wheels though, and maybe I'll go with sport, stock. Let's see. Actually, better yet, let's do street and add some of the cooler wheels to it. Ooh, those are kind of dope. Should we do it? Let's go with wild wagon. Let's add, I would say, midnight purple wouldn't look all that great. Let's just go with regular black rims on this car. Let's go to tires, enhancements, design. I guess I'll go with the green one, maybe yellow. Let's do yellow. I guess I might fit it a tad better. Besides that, I guess we just have the window tint there, man. I gotta admit, I'm a little disappointed. I would actually say this car would have been a lot better adding it into, you guessed it, Benny's Garage. Let us add the wide body. Let us do some upgrades to it. Funny thing is, I actually saw a lot of people saying this was going to be a Benny's vehicle. Well, turns out it isn't. Okay, so spawning outside here, looking at the Jester RR Widebody, there's one thing I have to admit right off the bat. Like, why can you not actually remove the livery or, like, wrap thing that's around this vehicle? I feel like that alone is probably going to make players go, I'm not spending $2 million on this car, man. Like, don't get me wrong, it doesn't look awful, but bro, it looks... Okay, you know what? It does look kind of weird. It's like a dragon. Like, I understand the theme of it, I guess, but at least let us remove stuff, man. It's almost like one of those special cars you get in, like, a racing game, to where you literally can't customize anything on it. This is literally what this car basically is. Like, I don't understand it. It's going to be $2 million. You have to spend money on this thing to actually buy it, obviously, because you have to customize it, make it worthwhile. Okay. Look. Look at the engine. Okay, so yeah, the engine doesn't look all that great. I do know the regular Supra, I actually would probably drive over this one because I just think it's kind of cool looking. This one, I feel like they kind of missed a mark on it, at least when it does come to, like, the overall wrap design. I feel like one way they probably could have done way better with this thing is to most likely put it in Benny's garage. Then again, that was probably going to require a lot more work on the customization part of it. But seriously though, don't y'all think this car would have been a lot better if it was in there? I feel like everybody would have liked it a lot more. That way they can actually customize it, leave the wrap off, maybe add different wings to it, different upgrades and all that. But instead you're going to buy the car as is. Now, one thing I actually think about with this, though, is maybe the Jester RR was going to be in Benny's, but maybe they did end up scrapping it, because if we look at this car, can't we all agree it kind of looks like something you would see in Benny's, am I right? I mean, it kind of reminds me of a vehicle you'd actually notice in there. But as I normally do with these cars, though, let's do an actual quick speed test through the city here. Then I'm also going to jump on the highway with it. Now, do keep in mind this thing is not going to be an HSW upgrade, so it's not going to be nearly as quick as the Viper, but even then I still have to test it. You know what, let me turn around here and go back this way. Isn't it kind of crazy how, like, GTA really does have such an insane vibe to it? But, like, look at the city, man. I cannot imagine how Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be. I'm so excited for it. And I will definitely be covering a ton of videos on that game, guys, when it comes out, so do stay tuned for it. But here, let's, this thing's also going to be in kilometers, which is, not really all that surprising, I guess. I mean, 200 kilometers, 120-ish. I would expect the car to at least hit that, I would think. Let's see here if I don't crash it. 175 there. Hitting the bumps is going to make the car bump up in speed there. There it goes a little bit. And that was my fault. I did run a red light. Can't get mad at the AI if I'm the one breaking the law. Anyone? I mean, normally I yell at them even though I'm the one crashing myself into something. But here, though, a better way to do this, though, is probably going to be on the highway, because there's not as many bumps, giving you like a fake sense of speed with it. Even though we all do know every single car in Grand Theft Auto gets faster when you hit a bump with it, which is kind of weird, but I guess kind of makes sense, kind of doesn't. But here, let's see what we can do on a regular road heading toward the main part. I wanted to do a top speed test with it. I figured that highway is going to be one of the best areas to do it because, well, simply to the fact that it's going to be flat, there's no bumps, you can do like a real speed test. The thing is, guys, I have to admit off the bat, when I did end up buying this car, which we all do know I have a good amount of money. I mean, I have 146 million at the moment. So yes, I could probably buy this car and test it for you guys to see if it is worth it. I'm going to say right now, would I recommend buying this? 100% no. I mean, I would recommend not buying it. Get the regular Supra, max that thing out, and actually drive that car around. It's probably a little better. I would probably recommend doing that over something like this car, because this thing is kind of expensive. And if I did have around $2 million to spend, would I buy this? To be real, I'd probably buy the Viper over it. I feel like the GTS is a way better vehicle than this one. But besides that, though, let me teleport to where the main tunnel area is and do my final top speed test with this thing. Okay, so now that I'm in the tunnel, though, I do want to see what this car can actually get to. And again, I just feel like a lot of players are going to look at this car, or hopefully watch this video before they buy this car, and go, okay, maybe I shouldn't buy the RR, let me go buy the GTS instead of it. Like I would say, even with that car being around, I think it's 300,000 less, still going to be well worth getting, even if you're on last-gen consoles. The reason why I say that is it is probably going to be slower without the HSW upgrade, but even then, that car is still going to be more viable than this one. Guys, look at this. 175 kilometers around that, which I think is like, what, 110 miles an hour maybe? Something around that, might be a little less, a little more. But either way, though, this thing is definitely not all that quick. I would actually say overall, like, you probably can't judge the car from something like the odometer because it can be inaccurate. But even then, though, this is going to be a car you spend around $2.5 million on it. You can't take the wrap off, and it has a wide body kit, which is kind of a plus with it. But it basically stops there. I really do feel like the Jester RR most likely should have been something like a Benny's vehicle. Would have made everybody easily freak out even more. Like, imagine being able to add different wings to it, maybe making certain ones carbon or different upgrades. Maybe let me change something like the wide body kit or something around so I could like change some of the parts in the carbon. Let me do something with like the exhaust tips on the back there, which are going to be plain. And then jumping into the interior view, you could easily do so much more with the interior of this vehicle. See that? Taking your eyes off the road definitely causes an accident. Who would have thought? But the thing is, though, like, I feel like the overall, like, even the interior is kind of generic, man. Like, I'm not trying to go after the car and go, man, this thing is terrible, like, trying to complain about it. But I do feel like for over $2 million, the GTS is definitely a better purchase. Now, do let me know what y'all think about the Jester RR Widebody in the comments below. I am really interested to know what everybody thinks about this car, because I feel like they might look at the wrap or look at the way it's customized, and they might go, okay, so let me change a few things. But the thing is, you actually can't, which I honestly think is a big miss there. Putting this thing in Benny's probably would have made a lot more players buy it. Like, imagine being able to change something with, like, the main motor part of it, as I said, the upgrades earlier. I feel like they could have did a lot more with this vehicle, but it just didn't happen. Again, guys, let me know your thoughts on the Jester. Are you going to buy this thing, or is it honestly a waste of $2 million? Also, one last thing here. So you are going to see the lovely RR Widebody right here, but also turning around, here is the regular Jester right here, guys. You can see being able to customize it. This car still looks pretty dang good. I really wish they actually would have put that thing in Benny's or at least let players customize it. It would have legit been so much better.